What's going on, Saints? Yeah, it's another beautiful day out here. But this one's gonna be kind of long cause I'm gonna do my 2024 end of year recap. So it's a beautiful day out here for us. So this is gonna be a longer video. So come walk and talk with me. So first of all, I just want to start off by saying, I just want to bless the wonderful name of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be standing here today were it not for the love of the Lord and His faithfulness in my life. That's the God's honest truth. There's no way I'll be standing here on my own accord. It don't make sense on paper. You put it all out on paper, it don't make sense, right? That I should be standing here, that I should be free, that I should be in my right mind, that I should have the opportunities that's before me, that I should be as healthy as I am. I have a praise report on that. I'm about to really just kind of give it all on this one right here. So it's a little 30-minute walk. So sit back, enjoy the talk, because it's all good. All right. So to start off, today marks 1 year that I've been clean from drugs. Right. That's an achievement. And so I kind of want to touch on that a little bit. I'm not really ashamed of it. It's I'm at that point now where I see it as just another part of the testimony that I could use in my life. It was a hard period in my life, to be honest with you. I spent 14 years in prison. That was a challenge. But being pretty much essentially a drug addict for 7 years. For 7 years, I was a drug addict. In 2016, this part right here, I kind of got to be sensitive with, because this is not the conversation of the whys and the whos, of what went down and what happened. But I do kind of want to, just stay in the ballpark of what was going on, because people that don't know, they'll assume, and people that do know, they don't really know, because nobody's ever really come and asked me what happened or what's going on. you know. And if people don't get it from the horse's mouth, they tend to just go off of what they been told or what they imagine, right? So there's no way to really stop that, right? But I really struggle with um, being mischaracterized. That's a good way to put it. You know what I'm saying? Because I am who I am. I never shy away from that. You know, uh, uh, I own my mistakes. I own them. If I did it, I did it. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't do it, I didn't do it. Right? So yeah, I struggle with being mischaracterized, and I found myself having to defend myself a lot. But I'm kind of to the point now where I don't even have to do that anymore. So life would do that to you. But anyway, I touched on that in 2016. Um, I kind of had the best way to put it. Come on, Samson. The best way to put it is to really say it in the sense of having had the rug pulled out from underneath me. That's probably about the easiest, safest way I could put it. I was at a place in my life, I thought everything was going good. I was working. I was heavily involved in this church that I was attending, and on the verge of really starting my own ministry, and just thought that everything and everybody around me was what I thought it was, right? And I was in my own little comfortable space, thinking that everything was okay. So, and the Lord had other plans for me. Uh, so, he allowed me to basically take a peek behind the curtain and showed me that everything that I thought was real and everybody that I thought was a friend, he let me get a peek behind the curtain of what was really going on around me and behind my back and in front of my face. and the realization of that, the revelation of it all was, at that time, was more than I could handle, at least more than I thought I could handle. And long story short, I just gave up. I don't know if anybody's ever been to that point in life. It seemed like you spent all your life fighting and struggling, and just to get through the day, right? But then on top of that, to maintain any type of integrity and goodness, and not to allow your heart to be broken by bitterness and hatred. That's a struggle in itself too, let alone just trying to survive. So having to go through all that, and then had just come to the realization in 2016 that I was really in a viper's pit, a snake pit, if you will. I had really fallen into a snake pit. I really had no idea. Now, I can have this conversation now, and I can look back on it. But going through it, ooh, oh Lord, I can't even imagine going through it. You know what I'm saying? And I did. With God's help, He walked me through that thing, right? But it was for a purpose, I believe. So, but yeah. So with that, and I'm telling this, I'm sharing this story, my experience, my observation, and I'm not making no excuses. So don't mischaracterize what's going on here. I'm just outlining what happened, right? But I'm giving it all to the glory of the Lord. So for 7 years in 2016, after that revelation, that I was in the snake pit, surrounded by snakes. I was in the midst of an evil thing. Still am, really, right? I just gave up. I gave up on myself. I think I was more mad at myself than I was at anybody else, because I couldn't believe that I was such a fool. But then at the same time, I wasn't surprised, because there is that broken side of me in my flesh that's always looked for friendship and comfort and love and validation, and I always look to others. You know what I'm saying? To I don't know, for something that I was missing, right? It's been like that all my life, and not necessarily that's a bad thing, but there are people who are evil that see that as weakness. You know what I'm saying? And they took advantage of that part of me that's broken, and I had the wool pull over my eyes. And it was at a time I was pushed to the point of, I fell deep into a drug addiction. I just didn't care. It got all the way to where my faith was even being challenged. Like it got to the point of where my faith was even challenged, because I kind of felt like it was my faith at that time that had me so blind to the snakes that were around me, right? And so my faith was being challenged. I got pushed to the wall on this one, right? And then on top of that, I ended up picking up a drug addiction. Anybody that know me, I don't really have ass about nothing that I do. So if I get into a thing, I'm gonna get into it. You know what I'm saying? So I jumped off into the life of using drugs. And what, I was 45, 46, something like that, All these years, I choose that time to do something just it was never for me anyway. But I was at that point. I had gave up, and I just gave up, right? And I turned to drugs. I turned to anything and everything that was trying to just to help me get away from the pain that I was going through. So it's no excuse, but this is what happens, right? And so I picked up a drug habit, and man, being a drug addict, I don't know if anybody's ever struggled with substance abuse issues or something like that. But if you've never have, it's kind of hard to relate, I suppose. But if you have, then you absolutely can relate. You know, there's no drug addicts are sitting around talking about how much fun they're having, right? It's a world of madness. So so I kind of compounded my issue, right? I'm living in the snake pit, surrounded by snakes. Now I got this monkey on my back. Oh, that it's taking my breath away now just to even think about it. I can't even imagine. So anyway, we're not gonna go through the horrors of that 7 years. That's for another talk. So for 7 years, and then a year ago today was the last time that I used drugs, right? And now, what's funny is, now of course, I wanted to stop using drugs. You know, and 9 out of 10 drug addicts want to stop. Of course I did. I know it wasn't me. I know it wasn't for me. And by this time, I had got over the hurt and all that of finding out I was in the snake pit. I got over all my emotional issues over it, you know. So I was by that time. So now I'm struggling to crawl out of that pit, and so once okay, so by this time, like last year, the addiction got so strong. Like it was so strong. I mean, the situation I was in I could just tell the devil was throwing everything he had at me to keep me in bondage, right? And to sink me deeper into that hole. Just the opportunities was there. Everything was kind of lining up that you would think that for most drug addicts, they'd be like, oh, this is going great, right? But for me, it was just sinking me deeper and deeper into madness, right? And so that's when and so it was even scaring me to the point where like, oh man, this is getting bad, right? So I started seeing it as a spiritual thing, you know, like, oh man, this is a demonic thing now that's really coming against me because my addiction was spiraling out of control and it was increasing against against my desire to stop. I wanted to stop, but it was increasing. So I was seeing this as a spiritual issue then, right? And so during this whole 7 years of me being lost into a drug addiction, I've never not looked to the Lord, right, for help. So I was always praying and trying, and it's a thing. So after 7 years, so 7 years goes by. A year ago today was the last day that I did any drugs. So, and the thing is, I didn't plan on stopping. Like I didn't just say, okay, this gonna be the last day. I mean, it was just the day before New Year's. All drug addicts look to a holiday like they need a reason to do drugs, but you know, it's seen as another party day. So, so yeah, and so it's not like that I stopped. So anyway, uh, so a year ago today be the last day. So I'll wake up. So it'd be like waking up tomorrow, New Year's Eve. And so when I woke up that morning, New Year's Eve, a year ago tomorrow, it would be, I felt it. I felt it in my spirit. I felt the release in my spirit at first. You know, I remember waking up that morning and I didn't have no desire to go get high. Like normally for 7 years it'd be like the only thing on my mind, you know. And I woke up and I remember feeling I didn't feel that pressure, right, that morning. So I was like, oh, okay, this is good, you know. So I rolled that whole day, you know, sober, like, oh man, this is great. The next day, same thing, right? So now I'm 2 days clean. So I'm feeling strong. So I'm 3 days, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I wasn't feeling the pressure. So I thank God for that, because I truly believe that whatever demonic forces were influencing me and like just pressuring me, like I think I was released from that, because I haven't had a dream. I haven't had like the physical desires that I once had. I'm not mentally, it's not on my mind. Like I have no desire, no more dreams, no more. There's nothing in me at all that desires to go get high on drugs again. Like there's no pressure there. Okay, so once that was taken away from me, then the rest of it was really became on me at that point. You know, am I gonna go run back to it? Now there were times, of course, throughout the year, and I know, because I know how things go. You know, I know that the test was gonna come, so I had already prepared my mind for that. Oh, and it came. Yo, it came. And one thing about it, this just for people, if you still watching, and when the test come, be looking for the test, because it's coming, right? So I know that the test gonna come. So and see, the thing is, don't already have it set in your mind of how you think the test is going to come. Just know that it's going to come, right? But don't preconceive a test in your mind, because it ain't gonna never come the way you think it is. So I had already knew a test was gonna come, and when it did, oh, that boy, man, threw a good one out there too. You know, anybody that's ever used drugs, these was the kind of tests you was looking for. You know what I'm saying? Somebody was wanting a party, right? And they know that I can get it. You know what I'm saying? So they pulled up on me, and we don't even kick it like that, right? And they got the money, they ready. You know what I'm saying? So but here go the test. Boom, shot it down. They looking at me like, oh, damn, you for real, for real. I'm like, I'm for real, for real. Boom, got through that test. There was a couple other little smaller tests along the way, but, you know, you get stronger and stronger as you go. So, all right, so that's good. And now during this whole time, right, my situation ain't changed. I'm still in the same snake situation I was that started, you know. So I'm still getting pressure that way, but that's easy to handle. Now, once you know what you're dealing with, it's easy to handle people when you know what you're dealing with now, right? Once you know the truth of a situation, it's so much easier, right? So, okay. So so there was no more pressure with that, right? And so what I did, hold on, wait for this truck to go by. All right. Okay. So, yeah. But so and during this whole time, I'm really like seeking the Lord, you know, because I really felt that He removed those spiritual uh things that was attacking my spirit, and then it became left on me to stand on my own 2 feet and be strong, and He gave me that opportunity, right? And during this whole time, you know, I don't have anybody encouraging me and telling me I'm doing a good job. In fact, I got quite the opposite, you know. So, but the Lord has been my encouragement. So, you know, when I'm praying and worshiping every day, and I can just feel the Lord speaking to my spirit, encouraging me, and just talking to me and just telling me, you know, just to let me know that you know, I need to be strong, that this is it's time for me to be strong, that it's time for me to, you know what I'm saying, that I had that you know, that, you know, like you know, like I like, you know, like if a person receives a promotion, and then now you have all these new set of responsibilities that, you know, you got to get your shit together to meet the task. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I just kept hearing the Lord just encouraging me in my spirit to keep going. Okay, and so that helped, right? All right, so this is how my year 2024 is starting off, right? Okay, So now I'm getting 3 months in. You know, oh man, I'm feeling good, right? 4 or 5 months in. Okay, now this is where things get interesting. Okay, so Donald Trump. There's another story I want to tell about that too. This is how I got this scar on my nose. It was by a dog bite, but it was basically literally within the same hour that Donald Trump almost got assassinated. Within that same hour, right? So I was over at a friend's house and her dog snapped at me and got my nose. And then her daughter came out, was like, Donald Trump just got shot, and I was over their house. So I get home, I go online, I see get the news, and that's a major thing right there. So that shifted my whole mindset about what was going on, and because I saw the danger, especially when I know about how these snakes are out here now. Right, that's one thing about when the truth is revealed to you, it opens up your mind to what's really going on. So once I realized that there are people out here who are actively part of the devil's kingdom, oh, and that's for real. Just like we got Christians that want to do the Lord's work, you got snakes out here that's doing the devil's work. That's the God's honest truth. And I know people don't want to realize that, but it's true that these people out here actively doing that, and this is the truth. So my point is that despite all this, so we see that go down with Trump, right? He just got done using the bathroom. So anyway, so we're almost there. We walking around. See, almost there. Okay. So I'm trying to stay on tabs with the story too, though. But all right. So okay. So now after 7 years going through what I went through, and then realizing that I was surrounded by these snakes, and it just opened up my whole vision, right? As far as these people that's out here, this community, this body of people that are actively doing the devil's work. And it's not just here in Saginaw. This is a global thing. These people been here. These are thousands and thousand-year-old institutions of pagan stuff that's going on. So it's demonic, it's evil, it's anti-God, everything. I fell into that pit, right? Still in it, but but I'm victorious. So, all right. So Trump gets shot, he survives. I saw that as the miracle that it is, right? And it just shifted my whole mindset. I made my first video ever, and here we are. So yeah, that's been my 2024. It's been a year of winning. You know what I'm saying? Then you see my Lions, the best year they ever had. This a year of winning for myself. I'm back to back to my old self. I'm feeling strong. When I got a checkup, the doctor, he made me feel good actually. My doctor. He said, to be for 53, I'm 53, to be my age, I'm in great shape. You know what I'm saying? I don't take no medication, no heart disease, no high blood pressure, no diabetes, nothing. So I'm in perfect good health. So I praise the Lord for that. And so, yeah, so it's been a great year. And so going into 2025, right, we're gonna continue my sobriety, and I'm never going back to being a drug addict. So that's not it. I don't even struggle with that no more. So I don't buy into that once a drug addict. I don't buy, because I'm a Christian. The Lord, whom the Lord sets free is free indeed. So let me see. So going into 2025, I'm just praying for new and greater, better opportunities, not just for me, but for my best friend right there, Samson, and Charlie the cat. And maybe get into doing this vlogging. I realized that this is what this is technically called, vlogging. I didn't know. I was just grabbing my phone and recording. So, but yeah, maybe get into this vlogging more seriously. I never imagined myself having a platform like that. But I walk in the spirit of the Lord, and I got stories to share and experiences. And my whole thing is I just want to point it all back to the Lord. That's it. I'm not really looking to make money, but definitely want to make a difference. But it does help to have money to go buy food with, right? So hopefully 2025. I really believe that what I went through here was of the Lord, and that I won a great battle for the Lord, because it's not the conversation for it. But what was going on ain't going on, at least where I'm staying. You know what I'm saying? So that stopped. But anyway, almost here. We had the tail end of it now. So so that's my story. So I just want to share that for anybody that's struggling. My advice would be, man, look to the Lord, because He the only reason that I'm even standing here right now. So you look to the Lord, and He'll pull you through. So thank you for watching, and remember, let's be light and let's be salt.